Chapter 16. Sting. Hayley Largebrooks was a Year 10 student at St. Aloysius Girls' School, which was 6 kilometres from campus. Cherubs often saw Aloysius girls when they went into town, so everyone knew the uniform. Lauren cobbled together a copy from the stock of school uniform kept on campus, and when she dressed on Monday morning, the only way to distinguish her from a genuine St. Aloysius pupil was the lack of a school crest on her green blazer. "Don't worry," Kyle said, as they headed down the back stairs towards the car park. "Nobody will ever notice if you keep your coat zipped." Like all cherubs, Kyle had learned to drive as soon as he was tall enough, but now he turned 17, he'd been issued with a driving license, and was allowed to use the pool cars, provided he drove sensibly and mucked in with shuttling younger kids around. When they reached the fire exit at the bottom of the staircase, Kyle stepped into the crisp morning air and glanced around, making sure there was nobody about. Lauren was nervous as they walked briskly across the tarmac. She was supposed to be at an 8 a.m. combat training session in the dojo, but she'd sent Mr. Carter an instant message saying that she twisted her ankle. Takata was strict, and if she found out that Lauren had bunked off, her punishment would be 2 grueling weeks scrubbing the dojo floor, cleaning the changing rooms, and laundering the mountain of sweaty combat suits and damp towels used by the 100+ cherubs who trained there every day. Kyle slid a plipper from inside his tracksuit top and pressed the button to unlock an anonymous Mazda estate. As he buckled up in the front, Lauren clambered in the back and squeezed herself into the footwell behind the front seats so that she wasn't seen as they drove out. Unfortunately, cherub pool cars were unloved, and the carpet was covered in mud and biscuit crumbs. Once Kyle had rolled over the speed bumps and pushed his cart into the security gate to leave campus, Lauren climbed up onto the seat and brushed the filth off her jacket and uniform before pulling her mobile out of her pocket. She dialed James. "Any sign?" Lauren asked. James was camped out in the trees around the back of Norman Large's house, with binoculars around his neck. "Hayley's got her uniform on," James said. "Gareth Brooks headed off for work about an hour ago, so it looks like Large is going to drive her to school." Lauren looked at her watch. "They're cutting it fine, aren't they?" "Don't blame me, I'm only watching," James said. "And I think Meatball has picked up my scent. He's running around in the Asker's garden and yapping like crazy." "Clever dog," Lauren grinned, before remembering that she was in a tight spot. "This is such a pain. I've got to head back to campus and get into cherub uniform before first lesson." "Stop worrying," James said. "We timed it all out, and Takata is the only person you have to worry about." "It's okay for you," Lauren moaned. "You've got the week off, and Kyle's only got 1 A-level to revise for." "Oh, here we go," James interrupted. "Hayley and Large have just opened the front door. You'll be following a dark blue Renault Megane." Lauren banged on the headrest behind Kyle. "Slow down, they're about to leave." But the road leading out of campus was lined with cameras, which the cherub security staff monitored for any suspicious activity. "I can't," Kyle said. "It'll be too obvious that we're following them." But Kyle did slow down slightly, and he rolled past the isolated parade of houses where Mr. Large and the Askers lived as Hayley was climbing into the front passenger seat of the Renault. "She's a big girl," Kyle grinned. "Even bigger than in the pictures." Lauren giggled. "I know. James is really pissed off." Apart from the odd tractor, there were never hold-ups on the country roads around campus, and the drive to the school took less than 10 minutes. Along the way, Kyle deliberately took a wrong turn onto a housing estate and reversed out once Mr. Large's car was ahead of them. St. Aloysius was an old building set amidst hockey fields and an athletics track. At this time of the day, less than 10 minutes before morning registration, the narrow hill leading up to the school was crammed with parents parking in the middle of the road to drop off their daughters. Kyle found himself snarled in traffic a few hundred meters from the school gates, with Mr. Large's Renault 4 vehicles ahead of them. After standing still for several minutes, Kyle noticed Hayley step out of the Renault and throw a pack over her shoulder. "Looks like she's walking the last couple of hundred meters," Kyle said. "Hopefully Large won't be looking in your direction, but keep your collar up and your hair over your face until you've gone past." "No worries," Lauren said, as she scooted across the back seat and stepped into the cold air. "Don't drive too far away. I've got to make my history lesson or I'm dead meat." Lauren's confidence plunged as she jogged uphill, trying to catch Hayley. With James going on a mission inside a week, they had to act fast, and there was no plausible reason for James to be hanging around a girls' school on a Monday morning. This left Lauren with the awkward task of setting up a date, and while she'd felt okay about the idea the previous night, the whole plan now seemed rickety. Excuse me," Lauren said, as she tapped Hayley on the arm. Hayley was 3 years older than Lauren, and she turned around with "Who the hell are you, kid?" all over her face. Lauren's head was spinning. So many things could go wrong. Hayley might be grounded. She could already have a boyfriend. James might not be her type. "Hi, I'm Susan," Lauren lied nervously. "And why should I give a shit?" Hayley growled. Lauren smiled uneasily and put Hayley's mood down to Monday morning blues. "This is going to sound so stupid," Lauren said. "You don't know me, but I've seen you with your mates at the bowling alley. And my older brother, well, he kind of says that he likes you." Hayley suspected a prank and looked around suspiciously. "Why don't you stroll on back to your giggly little chums before I slap you into next week?" "Oh, please listen," Lauren begged. "This isn't a wind-up, I swear. You've seen my brother at the bowling alley. He's called James. He's blonde, muscly. I guess you could say he's good-looking, but he's dead shy around girls." Hayley stopped walking. "I think I know who you mean. He looks a bit like you, but he seemed more like a big mouth to me." Lauren grimaced. "Well, I mean, he is a bit loud, but that's just front. I mean, I think he's liked you for a while, but he's never had the bottle to go up to you." "Since when did you go to St. Aloysius?" Hayley said suspiciously. "I've never seen you around." "Just over a week. I mean, I was at Edgeton Comprehensive over on the other side of the other side of the military firing range." Lauren realised her nerves were showing and that she was saying "I mean" too much. "He's fit," Hayley said as she raised one eyebrow. "Fit enough to do better than a fat bird like me." "So why is he interested?" Well, I think he likes prefers larger girls. I've seen him looking at magazines with big girls in it." Hayley screwed up her face. "You mean he looks at pornos?" "No!" Lauren gasped, realising that she'd said completely the wrong thing. "Look, we're going to the bowling alley tonight. My brother will be there, but there's going to be a big group of us, so it won't be like a date. Maybe you could bring a couple of your friends so it's less awkward. And it's half price on Mondays." "Maybe," Hayley said. "But it's short notice. I'd have to clear it with my parents." Lauren shrugged. "We could postpone. Tuesday or Wednesday if that suits you better. Roll up your sleeve, Haley said, as she took her pack off her shoulder and began unzipping. Lauren was confused until she saw Haley pull out a black marker. She grabbed Lauren's wrist and wrote a mobile number on her skin. I'll be home at about 4:30, Haley said. Tell James that I said he's fit, but I'm not going on any date unless I've spoken to him first. Fair enough, Lauren smiled, taking care not to smudge the number as she pulled the sleeve of her blazer back down. So, do you reckon you'll make it to the bowling alley? Haley tutted. I don't bloody know. Just tell him to ring me later and I'll see what he sounds like. Thanks, Lauren smiled. He'll be dead chuffed.